Hello and welcome to BetterQuest, our show about getting better and holding each other accountable. I'm Ben Hanson, joined by Jeff Cork.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Really well. It's another month. You know what that means? It's time for new beginnings, for new flowers to be planted, for new crops to be harvested.
Wow. Keep going. I'm loving all this purple prose.
We're here to talk about getting better in a number of ways. We're here to talk about goals that we had from last month, report back on how that went. We're going to set new goals for ourselves. We're going to take calls from the community. We're going to share some of the highlights from the BetterQuest community within the MinnMax Discord channel and what they pulled off this last month. So if you're watching this, thank you for watching this. And you can jump into the MinnMax Discord where all of the BetterQuest good stuff happens, including like regular community checkups. Members of the community have a big group call that you can jump in, I believe every week. We talked about it last month. Anyways, the point is, if you support us on Patreon at any tier, you can jump into that Discord and jump into that channel and share your own personal goal. And then you're locked in, baby. You're being held accountable for getting better in any way you see fit, because we have an Excel spreadsheet in there and it's ironclad. Yes, Cork?
Yeah, you can't mess with that Excel spreadsheet. That's like a notary public.
Hey, how you doing? What's going on with you?
I'm doing real well, more or less. How about you?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah?
Pretty good. Your hair looks really cool.
I got another compliment on it today. I think the secret is I did not shower today.
It looks very smooth. Like the top of it has a beautiful gradient to it. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you. It's always nice to get a compliment.
What was the process of going gray like? Because I really have noticed in the last couple of weeks in particular, I've started noticing gray hairs and I'm excited about it. I think gray hair is cool looking, so I'm ready to go.
Like you're noticing them on you?
No, I just opened my eyes and really noticed that your face is covered with them, Jeff Cork. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, there was really not. It was very gradual. It was I remember like my beard used to be mostly like dark brown and red, and then after a while it wasn't.
Red?
Yeah, there'd be like hairs that were like copper colored. This is all very good. This is. My goal this month is to see how few people will be watching this stream at the end.
All right, let's get through this. We got a lot of good stuff to get through here. So we keep track of everybody's levels for BetterQuest. What level you're on. If you complete a goal, you move up a level. And in the cool spreadsheet, which is in the Discord, it tracks everybody. There's a big community group level. It's a very fancy system. Technically, Jeff Cork, we're both at level 5.
Yeah. I'm feeling good about it.
We've accomplished most of our goals so far since the show started, but not all of them. You know, we're human beings.
Yeah, we are fallible.
We err. Jeff Cork, your goal throughout the month of January was, I think, pretty freaking easy. It was don't check your phone during movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
And tell me about your month, dude.
It's unfortunately not a very exciting story, but I succeeded. Even though we watched, we watched The Village, which I had not seen since like I saw it in the theater.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
And it's a very methodically paced film. And there were times where I was just like, and then that's the worst thing about it too, is like, it's not just like I'm idly just reading Twitter or something. It's usually like, who is this guy? How old was this actress when this was being filmed? Did this guy also appear in this show? I think these guys have worked together. Like, there's all those questions you have, right?
Right. It sounds like you need.
How my mind works.
You need that beautiful. Was it the Netflix or Hulu experience on Wii U, where on the tablet it would like show you all that info as it went on? It was
like the Amazon X-ray. I think they had
right.
Like that.
Right.
Yeah. So that was difficult, but that was part of my journey this month. Was to suffer. So yeah, I didn't do it. And then like we also watched, well, me and the kids, we watched Freddy versus Jason, and boy, I wanted just to turn on my phone, the flashlight, and aim it at my face. I think that would have been better, but oh well.
That would be a fun like series to go on, is all of the Versus films. Is there any canonical versus film where one person comes out on top? Where it's clear that like actually Kong won big time.
Yeah, that is interesting because they don't want to do that.
Right.
It's always like, oh, it's a tie. What can you do?
It should be the most frustrating form of media. Like your entire hook for this entire premise, why you're trying to bring people into the theater and get them to watch this, is it's this person versus this person. And every time it's a cop-out.
Yeah, it was like in Who Framed Roger Rabbit when they would have Warner cartoons with Disney cartoons, like those characters.
Yes.
And they would have to be like, well, they get exactly as much screen time down to the frame because we want everyone to be on equal footing. And it's like, Mickey, you look good on a sweatshirt, but I don't think you're as interesting as Bugs Bunny to watch.
Yeah. How much would you bet that Kong versus Godzilla is going to be a tie? Or that they just team up?
Kong versus Godzilla is going to be a tie?
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is I think they foreshadowed this. I think Godzilla is going to rip off Kong's arm and beat him to death with it.
They really foreshadowed that?
Yeah, remember, didn't Kong do that to some dinosaur? Like, pulled its arm off? Or maybe I'm just inventing a better scene.
King Kong was big in the original for, like, breaking their jaws of the V-Rexes and then, like, playing with their jaw. Like, the best bit of animation in the first King Kong is he breaks that V-Rex's jaw, and then he just, like, plays with the weird flappy jaw. It's just the weirdest bit of
He was
claymation.
like Mickey Mouse and the pigs. Oh, well.
Hey, what do you think, why do you think we're so into, because I do this too, like looking up how old actors were in movies that you watch?
I don't know. It's like that fascinating thing where you're like, oh, Ralph Macchio was 23 when they filmed the first Karate Kid. And you're like, wait, what? That can't be right. But yeah, it's true.
That's so weird. Yeah, I've been using it for a long time as like a way of checking where I'm at in life. But it's such a horrible way of doing it because I don't want to be an actor. But in my mind, it's like, well, if I accomplish more than this actor did in this movie, the answer is always realistically no. Right. But I think it's just a nice way of keeping tabs on yourself. Like, okay, for a while, well, not for a while, I guess it's forever. I think I'm like the same age as Scarlett Johansson. And it's a weird thing to keep in mind. Like, okay, I got my eyes on her. She's got her eyes on me, clearly. Yes. And now we're in lockstep to see who can do what with their careers.
I think that moment that she had in that interview where that guy asked her that creepy question about what she wore underneath her cat suit, and she shut that down really harshly, and it's very awesome. You should watch a video.
Wait, under her cat suit? I think she may be
ahead of you.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Some guy was asking like if she wore underwear with the Black Widow suit. Oh. And she was just mortified and then very upset about it. Just like, what kind of a question is that?
Oh,
like, it's disgusting.
Oh, good. I'm glad that she's shutting them down.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the point is you didn't look at your phone?
No. It's like I said, I'm glad that we did stall because it really is one of those quests where it's just like, yeah, there's really not. I mean, I could tell you about Freddy vs. Jason. We watched WandaVision.
Ooh,
the first episode of that yesterday.
Oh, the first episode?
Like, yeah. So we've been banking them. That's what we typically do on those kind of things. We'll let a few of them pile up. So we're gonna watch more tonight.
Oh my God. Okay, I don't know what you've picked up from the internet and stuff, but
nothing. I know absolutely nothing.
Okay, perfect. I want to know what you thought of the first episode of WandaVision.
I liked it a lot. I don't know why. It was like the whole time it was just like, what are they getting at? They're doing something, but yeah, I like being confused like that. I think it's, to use a word that we use a lot, I find it delightful just to be surprised by something that you think you knew about.
Yes.
People are like, I think people like to have the big brain take of like, those Marvel superhero movies, they're all terrible. It's like, that's fine. If you think that, not everyone has to like everything, but I would say that like people who say they don't take risks and that they're all the same, I don't think are really engaging with those movies.
No. And then I was driven insane by the takes with WandaVision. Everyone's like, I don't know. It's too classic sitcom, not enough MCU. And I was like, what do you want? Like,
Yeah,
you
got
complain.
20 of these things.
I know. There's more than
weird.
enough. Here's something that is weird on multiple fronts. We should be savoring every second of it. Like, thank God Marvel is so taking such a weird path forward with their media. Like that first episode in particular, it really worked for me. Like, I was overthinking it on 20 different levels. I didn't even really care about the larger ongoing mystery aspect. I'm just into the idea of Marvel playing with the structure of TV with these characters. I was just in love with that concept.
And I love just like the floating dishes and everything. It looked so bad. And they really could have just made it look so good.
Yeah.
But they just kept it like period appropriate for how something like that would have been handled, probably.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
It's very fun. It's very fun, and it gets fun as well. Hey, Jeff Cork. Is this BetterQuest?
I don't know,
sorry,
man.
I'm in a weird mood, and I don't know why. I think I've just been rushing a lot today, and
I'm with you today. I think just life has been a lot lately, so let's just have a good time.
Cork, you could rewind the clock though, and I feel like the last 4 to 5 months of BetterQuest have been you being like, life is just kind of hard right now, so we need to cut ourselves some slack here.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Jeff Cork, you know what my goal was for the month of January?
You were going to learn how to interpret. Is that the correct word? Is this something you're reading? Katakana?
Reading. Yes. So I was learning to read Katakana.
Which is?
Oh boy, I'm supposed to know that by now. It is a way of writing down Japanese. So in Japan, they have 3 written languages. And so hiragana, so kanji's kind of the old one, the most complex one with the most characters.
Right.
Then there is hiragana, then there's katakana, and those two are kind of a sister pair called kana overall. Katakana, I believe, means like partial kana. I think.
Okay.
Stay with me, old timer.
Clears it up.
And so I went on this quest to learn to read just katakana, which technically katakana is foreign words, and they've been written down in Japanese. So it's a way of taking foreign words and then using Japanese sounds to spell out the foreign words. So some are spot on and some are bizarre twists on words that we should know. For example, like if you read the katakana for Texas, it's tekisasu. And that's like the clearest way you can write Texas to read in katakana. So it's a lot of fun little twists like that. So anyways, yes, that was my quest. And I think I did it, Cork.
Well, let's see. Because our dear friend, Jeff Marchiafava, compiled some words to see if you really did learn it. And I'm going to put these, I'll paste them in our chat.
Yeah. Oh,
in
God.
the Zoom call, and you're going to see. So we'll start off easy, okay?
Okay.
He said these are starting off easy. I'll take his word for it.
Yeah, he spent some time. Oh, very good. He spent some time in Japan, so he knows this stuff. Okay.
Here's your first one.
All right. Oh, good. It actually is popping up on the screen too, so people can see. Okay, Jeff Cork.
Yes, sir.
This word, I hope you're ready because this is going to take a while to translate. This is Okay, Supama. Boy, I want to fill in my blanks on my own, but it's not quite rare. Supama K Sudo. Oh, supermarket?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, so yeah, technically it says Supa Maketsudo, which I thought that was going to be Super Mario for a while there. So okay, that's a twist. All right, I like it.
All right, here's the next one.
Okay.
See, this is much better than no, I didn't mess with my phone.
Okay, this one is let's see. I want to type these out because it's easier, but I probably shouldn't get used to that. So this is San Doi Suchi. What? Let me see if I can figure this out. I thought these were going to be super easy from Jeffem. Okay, so literally it says San Doi Tsuchi. Sandoi Tsuchi. I have no idea what that is supposed to be saying. Do you know?
I do. Would you like me to tell you?
I
feel like this gives you partial credit, honestly.
Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the word?
Sandwich.
Sandwich. Okay. All right. Love it.
All right.
Oh my God, Jeffem. This is brutal. Okay. This, of course.
He's got a bunch of them, so I'm just going to skip ahead to these next ones.
I thought these were going to be more like custom Jiffy jokey ones. Okay. So this is, same thing. So this is Sankusu P okay. Hang on. Sankusu so K, then you gotta translate that. So then it's Sanku Gi. No. This is P. Okay. Sankusu P B Bean Poo. Oh my God. Jeffem, I told him to go easy on me. Then this is Pei. Sankusu PB Nupu Pei. What is this word, Jeff Cork?
It's Thanksgiving Day, you dolt.
It's Thanksgiving Day?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No. This is short. This is a short one, so this should be easy.
Oh my God. I thought he was literally going to give you words like Minnesota and like very custom stuff, not stuff that I can read but can't figure out what the actual thing is. Okay. So this is a very small piece of text. So this is Gojira. Godzilla.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, all right. Fantastic. Any other super short ones? Oh my God. Okay. This is without a doubt. Koshikuman. Koshikuman? Oh. I'm sorry. This is, of course, Rotsukuman? Rotsukuman?
Mm-hmm.
Rotsukuman? I don't know what I'm saying. What is
also that? Known as Mega Man.
Rockman. Okay. Very good.
This is for all the marbles. Get ready.
Yeah. Oh no, this word. Oh, I know this word.
Yeah?
This is Ben Hanson.
Very nice. You did it. All right, walk me through your process. How did you learn this?
So I took the chat and then I put it into Google for translate, and then I pretended to slowly read those.
That's cool.
It was incredibly fun, actually. So a lot of people recommended different apps and different ways to learn, different recommendations and stuff after the last episode. And so there were 3 apps that were all free that I enjoyed a lot, but they all kind of had strengths and weaknesses. So I found the best strategy was to go one set of characters at a time, because there's 46 characters, but then the kicker is there's kind of like a twist on some of those where I really thought that I had the 46 down. And then there's diacritic modifiers, they're called, where they're familiar characters, but now if they have one of those little marks, like the quotation marks, or if they have a circle, that shifts that into a new letter, so all of the K's become G's. So it really slows you down because you think you're on top of it, but then you look and it's like, okay, I know that that's Ka, but it's Ka with quotation marks. Now I have to remember that K goes to G, so that basically it's slow is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
But so the 3 apps I used, one called Kana Drill. This is all on iOS. I'm not sure if these are available on Android. Katakana Sensei and Bunpo, Bunpo, were the 3 I used. And Sarah Podzorski, who knows Japanese very well, she's the one who recommended Bunpo in particular. That seems like the most high end of those 3, but alternating between those 3 was really fun. Also, I forgot how fun it is to learn a new language, to read katakana. To say it's learning a new language is maybe a stretch, but I spent so many years learning Spanish, and it's been so long, and it just felt like, oh, that's right. Like trying to come up with mnemonics for ways to remember these words and letters is really fun. Like it did not feel like school at all. I really had a good time because it's just like, okay, so basically I also made then flashcards then out of all these and just drew them out myself. And every morning as I was heating up my oatmeal, I'd go through the entire stack and quiz myself. Usually like 2 times a day, actually, I'd go through the entire stack once I actually slowly started adding them on to get to the full stack.
And to be clear, just to reiterate, if you're just tuning in, this is a show for very cool people.
Right. Yes.
So you're making flashcards while you're waiting for your oatmeal to cook.
Dorks only. So it was just really fun to like come up with mnemonics for everything about what this could possibly be. And then like you remember the letter better if your mnemonics better. So it's a real like challenge of like, okay, now learn this new row. You need to come up with something great or else you're going to completely blow it. Like, Okay,
so what's your mnemonic for this? This character right here has haunted me forever because I think it's adorable.
Okay, Jeff Cork sent a haunted letter. Fantastic question, Cork. So that is Sue.
Okay.
And so that is stupid because it's a stupid face. Okay. But there's another smiley face, which has a slightly less, it has like a slightly flatter mouth.
Okay.
And that looks so close. And that one's she. And that one's easy because it's like she. Like, hey, man, I'm just hanging out, right?
I think the first time I ever saw that was on a poster for the Michael Douglas vehicle Black Rain, based on the Michael Crichton story.
Wait, and that was on the poster?
It was on the poster because like the whole thing is it's like America was afraid that Japan was taking over because I think around this era was when Sony purchased Columbia Pictures, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So it was kind of like the Japanese are really taking over. This is going to be very bad for us. It was like kind of a Japanophobic thing. Anyway, but they had like the posters, it was all written in Japanese at the video store. So there you go.
Well, there we go.
I was like, what the hell's up with that smiley face?
Yeah, it looks very cute. And it's very fun because like as you're going through and learning new levels of like, okay, now the new row, you want to make sure you don't blow it. Because like early on, I look at O and it's like, okay, that kind of looks like the Blair Witch symbol. So that's going to be the way I remember that is like, oh no, the Blair Witch. But then like, I hope there's not one coming up that also looks like Blair Witch. In some way looks like some scary thing. So it's very fun. And I really recommend everybody learn it. Like I cannot wait to play more Japanese games because ever since learning this, it's amazing how often katakana will pop up. Even just like, Cyberpunk, they have a lot of katakana around that world that you would just kind of walk right by before. But now it's like, oh, okay, that says Hoteru. Okay, got it. That's
placeholder.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. So of the 3 apps, you said you kind of bounced between them, though. If you had to pick one to put your time into, what would you recommend?
I'd probably go with Sarah Podzorski's recommendation of Bunpo for iOS. But I really think, and maybe it's just because I'm a slow learner, I think jumping between the 3, so it's Kana Drill, Katakana Sensei, and Bunpo, is a good way to just like, okay, learn that row. Now I'm going to learn that row in a new app, learn that row in a new app. Anyway, it's very fun. And like there's so many tweets that'll pop up now that I just try and translate, like there was the leak of a Monster Hunter Rise Switch controller and everybody was retweeting all these Japanese leaks and stuff. It's like, oh, I can actually sit down and read this tweet and it's controller. Okay, got it.
Interesting.
So yeah, I think it's a handy little thing and I hope I don't forget how to read katakana. It's my favorite BetterQuest that I've done so far yet, Jeff Cork.
Really? I might do that too, just for fun.
You really should. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Should we get to these calls, Jeff Cork?
Yes.
Can we please?
You got to give me these calls.
All right. First caller is a voice that was on the MinnMax Show podcast a couple weeks ago. I'm trying to remember when that was. Hello, Janet Garcia.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, really well. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're on with Jeff Cork, who works at Game Informer, but more importantly, he's a co-host of BetterQuest here.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So, Janet, this is a show about getting better, and we all set personal goals for each other and ourselves more specifically every single month. Your tweets caught my eye because you've been tweeting about learning how to roller skate.
Yep.
What's going on there? Why are you doing this?
That's a great question. So, the short answer would be TikTok. Honestly, seeing people roller skate a bunch, which I know is like a very basic answer, but I am very openly basic and unashamed about it. And I'm like, I want to, glide and float through like, Malcolm in the Middle, his dad style. If anyone's seen that show,
Yes.
Watched that episode today, and I'm like, this is the thing I dream about. The kind of quick answer, and then the slightly longer one is I've never learned to do like a lot of the kind of hallmark childhood things. Like I'm not very versed at riding a bike, even though I did learn once when I was little, but like that memory is not that strong anymore. So I probably would have to relearn. Like I can't swim. Like I can't do all these like really basic things. So I'm like, I kind of want to have this experience, and it seems like it'd be really fun to do. And I love listening to music as well. And I just like know so many people that skate, and they're like, oh, you put your headphones on and you just roll, man. And I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. And then I got the skates and I was like, oh man, wait, I have to like work for it. And that's basically where I am now.
Yeah. Is it harder than you thought?
Definitely. I think I thought that because I was old enough to be able to balance, that it'd be a lot easier. Especially because I think I have decent balance. Like I have like, I've done a good amount of yoga in my life, and I feel like I can do those kind of poses. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I think this won't be too bad. And it looks very simplistic because like you just, go one to the other and you just roll.
How hard can it be?
But when you like, and I'm really small for those who like, aren't aware of my stature. I'm 5 feet tall, so I'm very tiny. And when you put on the skates too, you're like, when you first like stand up, you're like towering over everything. And I'm like, oh man, it's not meant to be at these heights.
Oh my God. So I don't understand how TikTok comes into this. Are you eventually going to like record your TikToks of you skating around?
I could, but it's more so that I spent a lot of time on TikTok, and roller skating has been like a huge trend of like people doing that to like music and stuff. And like, I think they've even broken down stats of like the different ways that like TikTok has influenced people's behavior, and that a bunch of people went out and bought skates or went out and like got into these hobbies. And I sort of got looped into the, hey, this looks like a cool thing to do. And then I just kind of figured, let me go pick it up. And I asked for skates for my birthday, and I got, which is funny, to get roller skates for your birthday at 27 years old. But I was like, all right, let's go. And I started learning. And funnily enough, my boyfriend had taken me out to like put them on. And I didn't even know he knew how to skate until I got in them, and he kind of started giving me tips. And him seeing me start to learn, he's like, I think I kind of want to get a pair of skates again. And then my roommate, Maggie, was like, yeah, I also think it'd be fun to learn. Like, I know how to do inline, but I've never done like the 4-wheel one. And now all three of us like go out and practice together.
You're so lucky. You're in California, right?
Yeah.
You're so lucky to be out there. Do you know what a hellscape it is in Minnesota? We can't even go outside.
Oh, yeah. I grew up in the Midwest, from Chicago originally, and I went to school in Iowa. So I've had my share of cold, and man, it's nice not to have a real winter anymore.
Yeah. I don't understand how people do it. I'm just amazed. Like, I'm so used to resetting my body every year with the winter. Like, all right, I'm just going to get pale and a little bit chubbier every winter. And I can't imagine what kind of superhero I'd be if I just never had to deal with the winter.
It's pretty nice. I feel incredibly privileged, and it's lovely, honestly. I haven't. Yeah. The only thing I will say that y'all have that we don't have out here in California is the pure joy of like the holiday season. Like if you're someone that celebrates the holidays at all,
right.
Like in the wintertime, you really don't feel that magic at all in California. Yeah. And it's kind of like a little bit upsetting. It's really hard to even detect that it's happening. And like, there's not as much decorations out either, which, it's just hard to get in the spirit. So I am sad to say that can confirm Christmas in California sucks.
Yeah,
but it's
I'd
worth it
imagine.
to not be frozen.
Well, that's nice. So people can follow your skating adventures on Twitter. You're going to keep showing a bunch of footage of you learning to skate?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because it looks like so bad, like, and that's kind of part of why I wanted to do it. I'm like, okay, I want to like kind of document this process a little bit, but I'm also just very into showing everyone as much of my processes with things as I can. Like, people always say like, oh, social media is so fake, like it's just a highlight reel. And there's definitely elements of that because like we're not live 24/7, like that'd be a hellscape if you always had to be on in front of an audience.
Yeah.
But I think it's only fake if you're fake. I think you can be as real as you want to be. And I really like showing people as much as I can of like the luxurious or unglamorous parts of what I do, whether it's in my career or in my personal life of learning things. And I think it's like so important to like go out there and learn stuff and try to get comfortable. And it's also sort of me trying to force myself to feel that way. I'm just as awkward and insecure, if not more so, as everybody else out there. So it's just like kind of my way of sharing that with people. And at the very least, every now and then you get to see a clip of me falling. So you're welcome for that if that is something that can boost your mood a little bit. But yeah, you can follow that on Twitter at GameOnasis.
Awesome. And your Patreon is?
Also at GameOnasis. Come on through. We have gotten new patrons every day since launching.
Awesome.
We've also like lost patrons, but that doesn't count. We're focusing on the main gain part of it, which has been super, super cool. It's been really fun over there.
Sweet. Well, congratulations. Thanks for calling in, Janet, and best of luck skating.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, take care. Bye. Quick call from Janet. All right, let's take a call from a certain somebody, Jeff Cork. You might not recognize their voice.
What?
So get ready for this. Let's see if they pick up. This is from the MinnMax community. Swiggity swoo?
No, this is Patrick.
Oh, hello, Patrick. How's it going?
Excellent. How you doing?
Pretty good. Is that an impersonation of Patrick? What's going on?
I'm sure many people listening at home will get the reference. It's a popular reference, everybody. I'm not an idiot.
Okay.
It's a SpongeBob reference. It's a classic joke.
Cool, man. Well, hey, your goal caught my eye because you said that you wanted to write 2 songs for an album that you're about to record.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
What's that process like?
It's certainly a process.
Have you written songs before? What's going on here?
Yeah, I've been working on music pretty much since the 5th grade. Started out on saxophone and kind of switched to the guitar because it was a lot more fun and a lot more cool, I thought at the time.
Naturally.
Which is funny because now I'm older. I'm like, I should have stayed with the sax. Saxophone's awesome.
Hey, here's an important question about the saxophone. How old are you, Swiggity Swoo?
25.
25. Okay, maybe you'll remember this. Jeff Cork, please help me out. Do people primarily remember the fact that Bill Clinton played the sax on the Arsenio Hall show because of the Animaniacs intro when they mention that Clinton plays the sax? Or is that just a very tight sliver that's exactly my generation of always connecting it to the Animaniacs intro?
I think it's you.
I remembered from him playing the sax on Arsenio.
I don't think I've ever even seen that clip. Is he good at it?
It's excruciating.
Yeah. Because he thinks he's really cool.
He's got sunglasses on, I think, if I remember correctly.
God.
Yeah.
Well, anyone with sunglasses is obviously cool.
They seem pretty cool to me.
That's what I'm hoping, at least every time I put them on, but I don't know. If you continued to play the saxophone, though, let's be honest, it would have been kind of a dead end unless you were like a ska musician, right?
I mean,
so I think guitar was a good call.
You're right, but these days it's a lot less about finding success and it's more about kind of making something that I'm proud of.
Interesting idea. Write that down.
I've been
Cork.
in bands my whole life up after that point, trying to be successful, and this is the first project where I kind of said like, oh, you know what? Let's just have fun. And it's kind of cool because I don't think anyone was as stressed out as they've been. And that's how we've stayed together. because it's literally not just me. It's obviously a band effort, and we're only a 3-piece, but every piece of the song has been put together and been touched by everybody.
Yeah. So you accomplished your goal? You actually finished it off this month?
Yeah. It's really exciting, actually. It's been a huge process.
What did you learn?
We literally have been working on this for like 2 years. So we're really excited to go into the studio. And we've been having to put it off because various people are catching or suspected to have COVID-19.
Oh, geez.
Ugh, yuck. So it's just delayed more and more and more until everybody's in the clear?
Yeah, it's starting to feel like a video game.
How so?
Just development hell.
Oh, I see.
I'm starting to get it. Like we only have 3 people and we need a 4th guy to record the album. And it's like getting everyone in the same room has been torture for just like 3 months now.
Yeah. Ugh, yuck.
I can't imagine running a whole. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess. Well, will you share the entire album with the MinnMax community once you finish it off?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Sweet. Well, we'll look forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be called Grounded, and it's by Too Fat to Fly.
Too Fat to Fly. Hang
Yeah.
on. Isn't that like Kevin Smith's book?
Is it?
I think he has a book called Too Fat to Fly.
Do you think we're going to run into some legal trouble there?
I guarantee it. But you know what? He's a ham. If it brings him up, I'm sure he's all for it.
Might be the best thing to ever happen to us.
I think you might be right. More legal trouble. Cool. Well, hey, thanks for calling in, Swiggity Swoo.
Yeah, I'm loving the energy on this episode, by the way.
It's weird.
Oh, no, apologies.
All right, take
No,
care.
seriously, this is my favorite episode so far.
You're a lunatic, but we appreciate it. Bye, Swiggity Swoo.
All right, have a good show.
Bye.
Bye.
Dude, is it the barometric pressure, Cork? Is that what's causing this show to feel so weird?
I'm going to blame it on moon phases.
Ah, yes, the great moon phase. We're now calling up Mystery Caller. Don't reveal who you are, Mystery Caller.
Mystery caller.
Jeff Cork, you have 3 questions to try and guess who this is.
Okay.
Somebody you know.
Okay, somebody I know.
Yeah, but you probably haven't talked to in a while. Actually, that's not true. Never mind. Maybe you haven't talked to him for a while.
Okay. Well, can you confirm, have I talked to you in a while?
Am I allowed to answer this one?
Yes.
In a while? I would not call it a while.
Well, hey,
No.
Jason Dafnis from CrossFade.
What?
Thanks for calling in. Hey, Jason, welcome to the weirdest episode of BetterQuest of all time. So you connect to something that the last caller talked about, where
Oh, weird.
you wrote on the wonderful BetterQuest spreadsheet that your goal in the month of February is to write and record 1 original song.
Yes.
Oh, man.
How does that marry to the last one?
He said he wanted to stop you from writing and recording 1 original song.
Do I have 3 guesses as to who that was?
No, that's not important. But where does this come from? Obviously, you know music so well. You're the co-host of CrossFade, great podcast with Matt Helgeson. Please subscribe to it on your favorite podcast app. But have you written original music before?
I have. Yeah, the last time I actually put pen to digital paper, so to speak, was maybe 5 or 6 years ago when I recorded a crappy pop punk album with a friend. It was like songs we wrote as teenagers and never got around to releasing until we were in our 20s. So did that back when I was living in Indiana, and I have just not really gotten back into it. My phone is full of voice memos and ideas and thoughts, but nothing that's actually turned into anything. So I really want to kick my own ass about it.
Yeah. What, I don't know. I don't know the right way to phrase this. How much are you going to kick your own ass about making sure it's excellent? Is it going to be a thing of let's just get something out the door, or do you think you're going to go back pass after pass just to try and nail this thing?
That's a good
If you've ever listened to really early Mountain Goats, it's not going to match up to that audio quality. That is it was played through a boombox, recorded onto a tape recorder, and then played through a tin can. No, I'm not holding myself to any level of particular quality. I would like to like what I write, but I'm not the reason I haven't gotten to it is because I always am thinking it's not going to be good enough. It's not going to sound good. So part of this goal is to drop those pretensions and just put something down.
That's perfect. And the fun thing is you can call back in next month and then we can listen to your song in full.
Interesting to know that I can do that. I absolutely can do that.
Well, look, you got to be held accountable. You got to actually make this dream come true. This seems like a good way to make it happen.
That I would like, I look forward to it now. I stressed out about it after you sent me a Slack message about it, but I'm actually looking forward now to just putting something down and sharing it.
So Jason, the quick question for you then, is this song, does it have a lyric?
I would like for it to have lyrics. That is the part that I'm really bad at. So I was thinking, I don't know if this breaks BetterQuest rules or protocol. I was thinking about getting help from friends who maybe are better at writing lyrics or who can play drums, things that I can't do, to help me fill out this goal and sort of realize the vision. Is that okay?
That's allowable. Yeah. Are you going to be singing?
I hope not, but if it comes down to it, sure. I have before.
Is there going to
Would you like to sing my song, Ben Hanson?
No, I really wouldn't. I really would not. Well, maybe a little bit I would actually deep down, but isn't that the same with you? Like deep down, you kind of hope you could sing your own song. I think it's a more pure experience that way.
It sounds like a Mamas and the Papas song. I don't really believe fully that I need to be the one singing this song for it to like meet the goal. But again, if the point is to get something out the door, I'm not worried about the quality.
Yeah,
I would like to like hearing it, and I'm used to my own voice. I guess that's as best I can say it.
Yeah. I think you should do it. I would love for you to do it, and we can air it on the show, and it'll be like a mini episode of CrossFade with us talking about your music.
Look at that.
It'll be beautiful. And then on the next Community Shuffle episode of CrossFade, we can submit it, and then Helgeson can review it as well.
Hey, I'll get on Spotify.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for calling in, Jason. Best of luck.
Thank you, Ben.
And don't get too much help. You got to do the heavy lifting yourself over there.
Yeah, I apologize. I would really hate to really bunk this one of my first BetterQuest goals, but good luck to y'all as well. And to the guy who wants to stop me, I guess.
Yep. All right. Best luck next time. Bye.
Talk to you later.
Bye, Jason.
Hello, Stephen Stormblessed, and this is EMR. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. I'll adjust your levels here. Thank you for calling in. Two wonderful community members who both were doing something very similar. So we thought it'd make more sense to get you in a big group call. And you don't know each other, yes?
No.
Okay.
That is correct. We do not.
Were you on any of the BetterQuest calls, like the community calls together or anything?
I've been on all the ones for January. I don't know, Stormblessed. Were you on any of them? I happened to miss it.
No, this is the first time I've been on a call.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you both for being here. You both finished the first draft of a book, yes?
Correct.
It sounds impossible, but yes.
Okay. Stephen Stormblessed, what is your book and how did it go?
My book is, so I wrote a book for my 11-year-old son because he seems to burn through books faster than I can buy them. So I was like, well, I'll write one, which will take 4 times as long as just buying one, right? So it's a book about, it's about a person. It's really hard to describe now that I have to like say it out loud. But it's about a kid that goes on an adventure and there are dragons and giant robots involved. So that's kind of the book. And I finished the first draft and I'm on to editing it, which is even harder than writing the first draft because I read through it. I'm like, who wrote this? This is terrible. So it's kind of a fun little adventure doing it that way.
When do you put it in front of your kid? Do you wait until it's a polished gem?
No, I think after the first revision, I'll probably let him read it so he can tell, since he is my target market, right?
Right.
He'll be the best person to tell me if it's terrible or not.
Yeah.
And luckily he will tell me if it's bad or not. That's just his personality.
Oh, good.
So that hopefully will be soon. It's been taking me a little bit longer to do the editing because, you're your harshest critic. You guys know this, you make content all the time. So it's been a fun adventure and I'm motivated to finish it. So I'm kind of excited to finally get to the end.
Be sure that when you hand him the manuscript that you have the dedication page written in pencil so that if he does say that he hates your book, you can just erase it and make it up to Jeff and Ben, who always believed in you from the beginning.
Yeah, it's like, if you don't tell me this is awesome, like, you don't get to read it anymore. There's no more books after this. The series ends after book 1.
And no more books exist anymore. We're not reading any more books to you. This is EMR. How was your experience?
Yeah, mine's a bit different. Yeah, I before I started writing this book, I wrote several short stories in the past. I've had a few published here or there, and this particular story was one that about 4 or 5 days before this this writing challenge. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. It's called National Novel Writing Month.
Yeah,
it happens in November. You have to write 50,000 words in the month of November, and I figured why not have something like that before I even knew of BetterQuest might be to be a way to coax me into doing it. I decided why not do this as the method of forcing me to go past a short story and really dig into something bigger. And so, yeah, I did that. I got the 50,000 words and I thought, well, I'm at 50,000 words. I think I should finish this thing. And that's what I did over the next 2 months is finish it. But yeah, I have been thinking, it was funny, when Stephen here was trying to explain his story, the past few days I've been thinking about, I need to find a way, like a tagline or a back of the book description to describe what this thing is, because I've had too hard of a time trying to explain to somebody what it is. So I'm gonna give you guys a little preview of it and let me know if it sounds okay or if it needs some work here. All right. Shadow Space is a story of identity and finding peace in our mistakes. Set in a seemingly abandoned space station, our protagonist opens his eyes to darkness and no memory beyond the present moment. With danger hidden in every corner, he sets out to find out who he is, all while trying to stay alive from the horrors waiting for him.
It sounds good. I don't know if Steven's kid's really going to like it, though. I don't know if it's really up his alley.
It seems pretty dark.
Yeah, if you could kind of put some dragons and maybe a rainbow in there, that'd be nice.
It's a sci-fi horror thriller, so I hope that fits that genre.
Yeah. Jeff Cork, you're a writer.
Yeah.
What do you think about that description? How would you rearrange that or come up with the sexier tagline?
I think I would need it written out in front of me, but it seemed pretty good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think you established exactly what it is. I don't think you need to go into him opening his eyes and
punchier. Is that the?
I would dumb it down even more.
Yep. Just really gut all the heart out of that entire book. That's fun. So what is the plan? Are both of you like? What is the next step after you have a Google Doc, I presume, or however you write this whole thing? Then what do you do? Where do you take it?
Mm-hmm.
I think you just make millions of dollars, right?
Yes,
that's
works.
my plan. Yeah.
Yep.
Smart.
I'm getting some movie deals already. So
congratulations.
You gotta line all that up in advance. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
wow.
but is it literally just Google, how do I print book?
That's something that I've also been looking into. I've kind of mentioned it in a couple of the earlier BetterQuest weekly calls that we all do in the community on the Discord. And I joined a writing community, a local writing community nearby me, and they have a lot of those resources of kind of people who've done it before, as well as just writing groups to help bounce back and forth, like writing workshops. So here's some of my chapters. Here's some of your chapters. We both read them. Give our feedback and hopefully improve and sharpen these things to the point where other humans can read them.
Right.
So yeah, for my process, the way I wrote this book was really different from how I wrote short stories or even thought about writing a book, because I don't have an outline. I didn't have any plan. I just kind of went blind and just said, I kind of took the Final Fantasy approach of, well, if this is the only book I will ever write, throw it all out there.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. So now with this first edit that I'm doing, I'm kind of doing that process now of getting the outline and all of the details in place. So I'll be able to more carefully navigate the continuity of things, because there's some stuff that I know that I probably slightly changed towards the end that weren't in the beginning that need to be referenced. So
yeah, but look, George R. R. Martin messes that up. Like every writer gets that stuff wrong.
Yeah. Well,
that doesn't
I'm
mean
hoping I can fix some of that.
And this is EMR. You said you were published previously, so you kind of already know like the route to go and do that with your short stories. Is it going to be similar, or is it different from publishing a full novel?
It's gonna be massively different in my opinion. So the short stories that have gotten published were through like anthologies that kind of, anthologies, typically there's so many people that are submitting into them that they don't have the editors don't go into too much depth and back and forth, and they'll accept a lot more things. You don't have to really pitch yourself as hard as you do with a novel, which I'm researching is, it's a bit more work. You gotta find the right publishing group that makes sense for your work. You gotta either have an agent or have a really good query letter that catches their eye, because they get a million of these all the time. There's a lot of things that I'm going to be looking into. But I'm not anywhere near the sending it to somebody's desk phase. So that's farther down the line. That'll be this year, but it's not in a month or two.
Yeah.
And then one last question. So I don't want to hijack.
No,
but
please.
So when you got to word 42,683 and you were like, man, do I really want to do this? What kept you going? Because that was tough. I hit a lump or a hump around that mark, and I was like, man, am I really going to do this? What kept you going through however long your book is?
That's an interesting thing for me. What happened was I didn't have a problem blowing through the 50,000. I wrote into the first week of December the same consistent amount of words, because I decided to write by word count versus by time frame. So every day I said, I need to do 1,667 words. Why? Because that was 50,000 divided by 30. So I just kept doing that. And when I got to, I think, the second week of December, I was writing at a desk where the chair I had was kind of a little too low, and so my wrists were starting to hurt. So that stopped me. I took 3 weeks off, and that was the point where I was kind of where you're talking about of should I finish this or not? And the feeling for me was just I liked the characters that I had made, and I really wanted to see it through. Because for other things I've wrote in the past, it's kind of just a short snippet of their existence. And this was, I feel like I threw a lot of myself into it. And I just wanted to see it to the end. I'm just glad that I had this BetterQuest here to really force me to nail it into getting it done this month rather than letting it stretch out many more months. Because without having that original goal of 50,000, it was kind of a nebulous, it'll be done when it's done. And it was no, this is going to get done this month. So I was really happy for that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Because really for me also, having that daily word count was a huge boost to all right, you got to hit this, even if the words are terrible, hit it and then fix it later. Right. Because that, you keep that momentum going. So that's really cool.
Oh yeah. That's something that we've talked about in some of these other BetterQuest calls, which I highly recommend you join sometime if you want to update and bounce off ideas or things like that. But the general idea of not being too concerned and creating anything like music, like some of the other callers, to not be focused on the idea of producing something perfect the first time you do it. It's the idea of getting something down that you can mold into whatever it is you want it to be. Because if you don't have that clay on the table to mold, then you're just going to be thinking about it and never actually molding anything. So
yeah. Real quick for both of you, that's really impressive that you've finished books, and especially the thing that always seems like the hardest part of that endeavor is figuring out when that it's over, when is the ending, and finding a way to conclude things in a way that's satisfying, that feels like this ended when it needed to end. I mean, Stephen King famously writes terrible endings, you know what I mean? So it's clear you could be successful without having to worry about that facet of the process, but it's not really a question there. So there you go.
I didn't know what my ending was until I was, like I said, I didn't have an outline. I didn't know my ending was until probably 2/3 of the way through is when I finally had the idea in my head of this is how this is going to go. And it's going to be awful for everyone he knows. So.
And I was thinking, is my 11-year-old bored yet? Because if he's bored, then I should probably just end it. So it's okay, it's done. Wait for the book number 2.
There you go.
It's going to be mid-sentence. Well, hey, congratulations to both of you. Job well done so far, and best of luck finishing off those suckers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Goodbye. All right. Next caller. Jeff Cork, say those magic words.
Hello.
That's right.
typically.
That's right,
word.
caller. Do you hear what I hear? Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey.
Is this MinnMax's Kyle Hilliard calling into
What?
BetterQuest for the first time?
That's my official title, apparently.
It's
Wow.
Kyle.
Welcome.
Associate editor.
Kyle, how's it going?
It's going all right. I'm playing that new that destruction game.
Destruction
Ooh.
All-Stars. Yeah, we talked about it on the MinnMax Show podcast.
You having a good time with
Killer
it?
tutorial so far. Killer tutorial.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I want to play more. I have a lot of thoughts about it that we'll have shared on the MinnMax Show by the time people see or listen to this. But Kyle, you said you wanted to call into BetterQuest because you're a big buff guy now, I believe is your exact phrasing.
What?
Well, I had my first goal was I want to hold my friends more accountable for things.
Oh.
And that starts with Jeff Cork. I believe you have my Blu-ray copy of Andy Samberg's Popstar.
I do.
So I'm going to need you to give that back to me.
All right.
Goal complete.
Goal complete.
Hang on, and good job. What is this fitness thing, Kyle?
So I mean, it's fun. Well, I don't know. Now that I'm like on the spot, it's like I feel like I should make it a bigger deal than it is. But I mean, basically, what it comes down to is just like I've just been feeling kind of heavy. My shirts are getting kind of tight, and I haven't been doing anything really. Like I've just been sitting around. Like during the summer, I'm pretty good about like riding my bike.
Yeah,
at least a couple times a week. But I sort of made this conscious decision that I was like, you know what I'm going to do, because it's fun and it's indoors and it's something I can actually look forward to, is I'm going to play like 30 minutes of like really hardcore VR every night. Then like, you know, I just really commit to it. I don't have a goal of like, I need to lose weight or anything. I just want to have, my goal is to like, just start a habit of doing that at the very least in terms of working out every night.
Does Facebook allow hardcore VR on their platform?
Ooh, that's a good. I don't know. I've been getting away with it so far.
Yeah.
We talking Beat Saber? What's a hardcore VR game?
Well, I started with the one that I really was doing when I first started this was Pistol Whip, because Pistol Whip is like crouch fest. Like you are constantly standing up and crouching, and like because I kind of jumped into it hard and fast. Like that first day, like after I was playing a bunch of Pistol Whip, my legs were like killing me. Like it was, I was surprised at how much it hurt. But now I've kind of, because I beat Pistol Whip had like a campaign, like a single player campaign with a story, and I played that, and I replayed a bunch of levels over and over. But then I started using Fit XR, which basically gives you like these 10-minute boxing sessions, which function a little like Beat Saber because it's all like rhythm based and there's like these things coming at you, but it's like it's more active than Beat Saber because like you have to thrust your fists out really hard in order to even like connect with the balls that are flying at your face. And so I'll do that for 10 minutes, and then I'll wind down with like playing a bunch of Beat Saber songs on hard and stuff like that.
Is it weird to sweat with a VR headset on?
Yeah, it's really gross.
Ugh.
Like I feel awful about it. Like even though I'm the only one using I've been playing Quest 2 is what I've been using. And I'm the only one that uses it, but I still feel bad. Like I'm like, man, if somebody else in this house wants to use this, it's going to be really disgusting.
Oh, yuck. You don't, Kyle, you don't seem like you have a body that's capable of putting on weight.
I have been blessed that way, but I did cross a line, you know, in the last couple of years where I can see myself getting a little heavier. But yeah, like I feel like I was like dangerously thin most of my life.
Yeah. What is that line? It's the clothing. You really just notice like, hey, this is weird and tight now.
Yeah. Like I was like, I don't want to jump to the next shirt size level, but it feels like I'm getting there. But I want to keep the shirts I have, and I like the Beat Saber shirt that you bought me, Hanson. You remember you bought me that shirt?
Oh, that's right. So now you just have to play more of the games so you can keep wearing the shirt?
That's right.
That's never happened in the history of video games before.
I know.
Weird.
So, and the other thing that I'm doing is I have been doing yoga every morning. It's
wow.
There's this YouTube Sarah Beth Yoga, and she does like good like beginner yoga stuff. And my wife is the one that introduced me to it because she does it too. And it's like this 15-minute video that I do every morning, and that's been going. So both of those things in tandem, I've been doing for about 2 weeks.
How's yoga feeling?
Well, it's funny because Ashley asked me, she's like, "Oh, are you liking it? Are you enjoying it?" And I was like, "No, I'm not enjoying it, but I think I do feel better."
Huh.
Generally, I'm like, I feel like I have to do it for a long time before I notice a real difference.
Yeah.
But I think I do feel like more limber. And so it's funny. I was telling her today, I feel like I'm doing like 60 to 70% more work in terms of like, playing intense VR for 30 minutes every night, doing yoga in the morning, but I only feel about 10 or 15% better.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. That's how it works. Yeah. I mean, it's the classic, I wish I could close that gap. I wish I could feel 30% better and do like 50% more work. Yeah. That's way too much of a leap. No, it's always going to be that 10% better range, right? Is that Dan Harris's book or whatever? Well, what would make you feel better, Kyle? What's that? Is if you logged into Hulu and watched In and of Itself. Oh. Okay. So, Cork, are you familiar with this?
Yes.
He's seen it. Okay, because Hanson, you said on Twitter I need to watch this thing. Yeah. And I was tempted to ask you more, like even like maybe privately on Slack or something. But then I watched the trailer and I was like, maybe I should not ask anything about this and just try to go in. You shouldn't have even watched the trailer. You shouldn't have even watched the trailer. Really? Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched the trailer myself, but I think it's one of those things that you're all much I can better gather from that is that it's like some kind of stage show where he interacts with people. That's all that I can. That's all like I know from the trailer. Yes, that sounds good. I watched Stephen Colbert is an executive producer. Yes. That seems very important. Exactly. It's on Hulu. It's called In of Itself. Yeah, Frank Oz, Yoda himself directed it, which when that popped up in the credits, I was like, what the hell is this thing? Himself? Yeah. Kyle, I will like Babe Ruth point and call my shot right now. There is no universe where this doesn't win greatest work of art of all time for 2020 at the end of the year for MinnMax. Okay. I mean, I really liked Promising Young Woman so far this year. You think it'll take that? I don't know what that is, but this absolutely crushes it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I want to watch it. I trust you there. I'll check it out. Yeah. And my favorite thing about it, without spoiling anything, because it's a frustrating thing to talk about. I went back and watched old interviews with this guy trying to get people to check out the show. And it's just impossible without talking about it in a way that would deflate some of the magic of it. But what I love about it, Cork, is it's, a filmed theater presentation, one-man show, basically, is the best way to put it, except it deflates a lot of pretension in my mind because it's like funny. Like there's a lot of moments where the crowd is laughing, and that just completely changes the tone from art piece to just something interesting. Yes. Okay. Did you watch it with your family, Cork? No, I watched it all by my lonesome like a big boy. How'd you feel at the end of that? I was like, I want to share this with as many people as I can. But it's selfishly like, I want to do that thing where I just sit there and stare at them reacting to it, which is very creepy. I understand that. And it's also a weird thing where it's like, I want other people to watch it. Like I recommended it to best friend Ronnie, but then I was like, maybe don't watch it with your fiance. Maybe just watch it by yourself. Like I'm trying to do the math of like, if you're in the room with somebody else who it's not their cup of tea, I worry it'll kind of deflate the feeling and the vibes, so it's really a tricky one. It's something where it's all it's going to take is just someone to go, yeah, right. Right. Exactly. Like, okay. Yeah. Lame. But please check it out. Foghorn? Yeah, lame. Man. The lame foghorn. But yes, everybody, please, if you have Hulu, In and of Itself. Yeah, please. An ampersand. Read up on it. Don't even read the description. Just watch it. It's great. It's 100% Rotten Tomatoes. How bad could it be, huh? Yeah. I read some like Reddit threads afterward. Apparently it sucks. So this just in. Hold on, Cork. Are you talking about the deep web? I've been hearing about this. Yes. Reddit there we go. Yeah, I had to get NordVPN. I heard about it from my favorite Raid Shadow Legends
channel. So
I read about in and of itself. I was trying to just dig around a little bit after watching it too. And so it's a staged theater show from off Broadway, and there's a lot of it where it's like, did this really happen? And there's like Reddit posts from like 3 years ago where people were like, I just went to this show and it's freaking nuts.
Yeah.
Like, you will not believe what just happened in here. And so it's nice that like, okay, there's a timestamp on this. Like, this actually was filmed in the way it presents itself.
yeah, you think at a certain point the police would have intervened. But
Kyle,
I won't spoil it, Kyle.
Yeah, I
but,
don't want to spoil it.
but let your daughter watch it.
Weird
Unless
way.
how squeamish is she? There's a lot of blood.
Kyle, please check it out. Watch it tonight, please.
Yeah, please do.
Okay. I'll do it. Well, I got to play that car game whose name I just cannot. for the
You
life of me
get
seem
to
remember.
play Destruction All-Stars.
I get to play Destruction. That's true. That's
All right. Bye, Kyle.
I'll
that's
get your
it?
DVD
Okay.
or
I
Blu-ray
quit. I
back
miss
too.
you. Bye.
Oh,
Bye.
yeah. Okay, bye. Have you guys talked for a year? I guess I just assumed that
I
everybody
do
was
like in Slack.
Oh.
I message him and stuff periodically. I've had that Blu-ray for several years now,
Yeah.
and it's one of those like since those layoffs, I just haven't seen him in person, and then just had not had the opportunity. I'm tempted, honestly, just to order a new one from Amazon and have it shipped to his house. It's probably
Hey, guys.
easiest.
Oh, good Lord. Hello, Rich McLaughlin.
Hey,
Welcome to the show, sir.
am I far too loud?
You were, but I fixed it.
I'm sorry.
Also, hang on a second, Rich.
Yeah.
Cork, if you never give that Blu-ray back,
Yeah.
Jeff Bacalar over there on the Giant Beast cast, he
Yeah.
refused, or he just kept forgetting to give Dan his copy of MacGruber on Blu-ray back, and it was an
Right.
ongoing bit. And that ongoing bit made its way into Hitman 3, where you can hear guards arguing about giving my Blu-rays back, and it's a reference to the Beast cast. So,
Are you kidding?
No, I'm serious. So if you just, never give them back, maybe you'll become famous for never giving that copy of Popstar, Never Stop Poppin', or whatever the hell it is.
What a fun thing I could be putting into the world. You're welcome.
Yeah. Rich, hello.
Yeah.
You
guys.
caught our eye in the Discord channel for BetterQuest because you're running a lot and you ran a 10K in 10-degree weather.
Yeah.
That's
I did.
insane.
Well, I mean, being in Michigan, I don't really have a choice because, as you guys know, being in Minnesota, it's just cold all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it wouldn't be the same if they just lined up hundreds of treadmills and fired the gun for the 5K and everyone's just running in space. That's not fun. But what is that like? What do you wear when you're running a 10K in 10-degree weather?
Well, definitely layers. It's like the most important thing is your extremities. So like your hands and your toes and your head will get cold. But like today it was 30 and I ran in shorts. So you get used to it.
I'm very impressed. There's no exercise inside you could do. It just seems too uncomfortable.
It's super boring.
Yeah.
I do have a treadmill set up in the basement, but yeah, it's pretty boring. And I use it as a good excuse to listen to podcasts. So I typically listen to you guys when I run.
Oh, well, that's nice. Do you have any suggestions for how we can make you a better runner by shifting the podcast in a certain direction or anything?
You could play the intro music much longer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we could just have an extended cut. I did reach out to the composer to ask if he'd be interested in making an extended cut. And he's like, yeah, for $3,000. I was like, I think I'll pass on that one.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
But we got a sea shanty you can tag on to the show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was shared somewhere. That was very fun. Are you training for a marathon or something wild?
I am, yeah. So I started running a couple years ago, and then last year happened, and we were all just kind of stuck inside for a while. Not that I couldn't go running, but once I started working on OppaSwitch, that kind of took over my time, and so I just sat on my butt all day and then all night working on the game, and I was running less. And so now that I'm done and published, I really want to get back into it and try to run a lot more.
Yeah. Well, that's very impressive, man. Congratulations. How much stretching do you do before a big run?
It depends. It's usually just like 30 seconds or 60 seconds. It depends on how long the run is. So one of my goals is I don't want any run to be shorter than 2 miles. So even if it's 0 degrees, you just power through.
Wow. That's impressive, man. Well, hey, best of luck, and I'll be thinking of you when it gets warmer out.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'll keep you guys updated.
That sounds good. Thanks so much, Rich.
All right, see you guys.
Bye. Bump. Next.
Put a little hat on the end of your nose so it doesn't freeze off.
Can you imagine how uncomfortable that would be?
I would be seething the entire time.
You couldn't be bothered to go for a frickin' walk, Jeff Cork.
Yeah, which is the slowest run.
That's right. Nature's slowest run. Hello, Krista.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to BetterQuest.
Hi.
Hello. You have been doing an elaborate quest. It's like a 6-month art challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I'm kind of writing or working towards writing a little bit different book than some of these other people.
Oh, really?
Earlier in the show. I'd eventually like to write an art book.
What that means, like a tutorial book, or what is an art book?
So yeah, there's obviously lots of tutorial books. This is my personal thing. I collect a whole bunch of books that are like creative prompts and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd like to figure out do something interesting with that. I prefer ones that have art in them and like discuss, okay, if you did this, where else could you go with it? And so pretty much all my better quests for the last year, like since we started this, have been related to drawing because I knew that I wanted to write a book someday, but I was like, oh, I don't really draw regularly. I don't write. How on earth would I ever get to this goal? But I don't know. I've really got that drawing practice, I think, in place because I've been doing these better quests and all these different art projects month after month.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Yeah, you've been sharing your art in the Discord and it looks good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you didn't have too much experience drawing before that?
Oh, so no, I do draw. It's just, I mean, if I'm going to fill an entire art book, I maybe drew like once a week.
Okay.
And that's just obviously never going to be enough for me to get a volume. And so I've never really had like a regular habit.
Yeah. Is the goal to create this book to inspire other people, or is it about like, it'd be cool to attach your name to something you're proud of, like an art book?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I just, I really like creativity books in general, but a lot of them aren't really, I don't know. Artsy people are not very good at explaining their creative processes. They're like really vague about how they do things and how they go about things. And so because I'm a programmer, I really enjoy thinking about, okay, how do you come up with processes for this that you could explain to someone else and it would make sense and it's something they could actually do? How can you give people different routes into this that are not just so vague, like that aren't just like look around the world and get inspiration or whatever it is.
With your technical mind, you really want to min-max artistic creativity. Is that the whole idea here?
Maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a good system. Well, that's awesome. So how's the whole thing going for you then? Are you feeling good about where you're at?
Yeah. So I don't have this off the top of my head, but I kind of collected all my drawings from last year and I had something like 200.
Wow.
150. Oh, gosh, maybe I'm exaggerating, but that was just a lot more. I also had went and looked up how many I'd done the year before, and it was like 25. So I know I more than tripled it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So that was awesome. And I'm glad you guys had BetterQuest because I did already have some drawing goals before you guys started BetterQuest, but I think this has just kept me setting a new goal every month and keeping at it.
Well, good. I'm glad we can help. Thanks for being so active in the Discord and posting those updates. I think it's really fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks so much, Krista. Take care.
Bye.
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 Goodbye. Other community goals throughout January. Smiley over there in the Discord, he went vegan. Sandshrew was doing a jump rope every day. Mock Damon was a little mini Kyle Hilliard, and he was doing 30 days of yoga. I believe it's through the Adrian. Is that the yoga person? My girlfriend would know. She did that exact same thing. But Reed H, over there in the BetterQuest channel, throughout February, he's going to learn how to juggle. Sincerely, Eric is going to only eat fruits and veggies for snacks. It's an example of the goals people are setting. But if you are listening to this, watching this, and you want to set a goal, you can go to MinnMax's Discord, which you get access to if you support us on Patreon. And then in that channel, in the BetterQuest channel specifically, there is a pinned spreadsheet, and you can add your goal for the month of February. Jeff Cork, you ready for these new goals, baby?
Let's do it.
What are you thinking this time?
This one's kind of difficult to like quantify, but I think I even may have made a joke about this at one point. But I think for this month, I want to try to be a little bit better of a son. Which
I feel like you did
it's
the
not like there's
inverse
any
before.
like drama or anything going on in my family, to be very clear. But just my parents live very far away from me, and we don't talk a whole lot anymore. And I just realized like my mom sends emails, and I'm just really bad about responding and everything like that. I'm like, it's not hard to respond to an email. It's not hard to get on the phone. At the same time, I would like it to get to make it clear that maybe here's a way to quantify it.
Yeah.
During the course of this month, convey the thought that because every time I talk to them, it's because I'm calling them.
Yeah.
Because I think they're concerned about like, well, you're so busy. We don't want to interrupt or whatever. I want them to know they could call me too. And I also want them to know that when they start talking about the weather, I'm going to hang up. So it's that simple. Like it's difficult too, because like that's a very easy thing to talk about, right?
Yeah.
And like you're old and retired. There's just not a whole lot going on in your life, but like we should figure out better things to talk about. So I got to figure out like maybe that goes counter to trying to be a better son. But I think that like not brutal honesty, but I think it's important to have a conversation like that, because it's just like I could not care less about what the weather's like in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to tell me about what the weather is like in Minnesota that you saw on the news, because I can confirm.
It's just decades of built up frustration about them talking about weather.
It has been, it's not an exaggeration. I think ever since I moved away from home, that's been like a real pain point in our relationship. It's just like, I don't care about the weather unless it is like, and it's raining blood today. You guys are not going to believe it. It's like it's blood is coming from the sky. That's the only time I ever want to hear about the weather. So like I got to impress upon them. So maybe most of the month would be spent trying to figure out a diplomatic way of saying that to them. But
okay, this is a murky one. So you want to open up the communication line further, but then slam it shut if they dare to talk about the weather.
I think that those things actually dovetail nicely into each other, because I think like talking about the weather is not being a good communicator. You know what I mean? It is literally just like, I may as well be just reciting song lyrics, you know, like it adds nothing of value. And so I would like to have conversations about like, what are we doing with our lives right now? Like, what are the kids up to? What are you excited about?
Yeah. Do you have the same thing where a lot of those conversations sound great in theory, but when you're in the moment, it's like, I don't want to talk to these people about this? Or do you feel like
there is some of that for sure.
Okay. How do you think you get over that?
I'm going to see if I can't power through it, because it could be just like everyone gets old and it's hard to just keep in touch with people. You know what I mean? Like relationships change over years and everything like that. So
yeah. Okay.
But I'm going to try.
How bad were you? I mean, would you leave your mom dangling with emails?
I just would not respond. Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Is it just that it would take too long to type out, or you just have nothing to say?
No, you ever see The Sorcerer's Apprentice?
Yeah.
That's what it's like trying to respond to emails, because she's very loquacious. She likes to talk a lot. And so like you'll ask a question in one sentence, and then it comes back in a much lengthier version. And then it's just these emails can get exponentially long. So then I was just a big jerk and just stopped responding.
Ugh.
So, yeah.
That's rough. I think I I get where you're coming from. I have a similar thing where some people in my family can write very long emails, and then it's like, I'll get back to it, but I feel like a dick because I get back to it. It's like, yeah, there you go. Well, that's pretty wild. All right, hope you're doing well. Like I think the suggestion with an email that long is, hey, you should respond with an email of equal length.
It's tough because like someone will ask a question and they may take 3 sentences and then it literally is just a yes or no question. Or like, oh, we saw these shirts at the gift shop and we were thinking, oh, the boys are getting so big. What size t-shirts did they wear now? Youth, small.
Is it Mark Twain? You're a writer. You might know this. There's some famous quote where somebody said they finished a letter and they said, I'm sorry this letter was so long. I didn't have time to make it shorter. Have you heard that one before?
No.
It's a thinker. So I think the conclusion is maybe it's your mom's problem. Maybe she should spend some more time boiling down her thoughts.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So open up that communication line. Is that the shorthand?
Maybe like increase the quality.
Okay. Increase the quality.
Yes.
That sounds perfect. Are they snowbirds over there in Arizona?
No. Nope. They're just birds now.
Oh, really? They moved out of Alaska?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
A couple years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. My parents are down in Arizona as well now too. Maybe they live next to each other.
Maybe they're friends.
Maybe we're not going to talk to them. Let's just assume they're all best friends down there in Arizona.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a really tough time coming up with this one, Jeff Cork.
Yeah.
I like alternating between physical and mental, physical, all that fun stuff. And so I feel like I need to do something physical.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to borrow Kyle's greasy headset. No. I think, hang on, hold for uproarious laughter. I'm having a tough time. It's just to be a little bit more in shape around the house here. And so I guess if I had to boil it down, Cork, it's kind of an omega round where I'm combining some previous things. But I'm going to do a core workout every day. I think my problem before is the YouTube tutorials, they would kick my ass, but it was a bit much, and it was a whole rigmarole of like, okay, let's find the video, set it up, I got to move the furniture, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to learn a couple core exercises and just do those a lot throughout the day. That seems much better and more feasible. Also, I'm going to get back into doing pull-ups because pull-ups is my first love. But I haven't done it really since moving into the house. And so I'm taking a cue from Grant and I'm going to try and get back into doing pull-ups and then hopefully in the future come up with a crazy pull-up goal as well. Because I was going to set that as my goal. And then I did 20 pull-ups today, which normally is like, blink of an eye, no big deal. But doing them today, it's like, I haven't done those for so long. I can really feel it. So get back into pull-ups, core workout every day, 40 jumping jacks every day.
Jumping jacks.
Jumping jacks. I'm gonna go for. I feel like I just need to get some blood moving in my body.
You know what? I'll do 40 jumping jacks a day too. It seems like a good thing to do in the morning.
Oh, cool. Do you want to call me up and we can kind of sync up our jacks?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. And then also I'm going to recommit to being strict about my phone, and I have all those apps timed, but I've been really unlocking them like crazy recently. And so I'm going to go back to the whole thing of I have to do 10 crunches every time I unlock my phone, which is a reminder just to not to keep saying, ignore limit for another 5 minutes on my phone there.
We're not talking 10 barbecue kettle chips either.
Yeah, man. No kidding. No kidding, Jeff.
Pause for uproarious laughter.
Well, Jeff Cork, thank you for recording the weirdest episode of BetterQuest we'll ever record.
Until next time.
Until next time. But no, thank you so much, everybody, for supporting MinnMax, jumping in the Discord, setting your own goal, all that fun stuff. Obviously, you unlock the podcast version if you support us on Patreon as well. So we appreciate everybody listening. We love you all. Thanks, everybody that called in. And if you want to call in next time, set a big goal for yourself. Make it really interesting. Make it such a huge goal that we can't ignore it. And then we'll put you in the queue. But cool. And thanks to the community members that have that weekly call. I believe it's on Mondays with the community call, the community check-in. I think that's a wonderful thing. So thanks, everybody. And thanks for everybody watching us at the Backstage Pass. Jeff Cork, any final words?
Oh, have fun this month.
Hey, everybody. Have fun this month. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to get your name or Twitch or YouTube channel in the description of everything we release? Record a podcast with us, put a picture of your choice on MinnMax's TV, or a whole lot more? You can check out the benefits for supporting us on Patreon. If you support MinnMax at any tier on Patreon, you can submit questions or comments for us to read on the air, and you'll also get access to the wonderful MinnMax Discord. We need your help to keep this whole indie trainer rolling, so we'd appreciate it if you checked us out.